Do you still believe that setting your tires to 32 PSI is the safe choice? Because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you treat your car. For years, drivers have been told that 32 PSI is the normal number, a pressure that somehow works for every vehicle, every tire, and every situation. It sounds reasonable, it feels harmless. But in reality, blindly following this number could be quietly damaging your tires, hurting your handling, and costing you money without you ever realizing it. Today we're going to break down exactly where this advice came from, why it refuses to die, and what actually happens when your tire pressure doesn't match what your car was engineered to run. And before this video ends, you'll learn a simple tire pressure reset method that can instantly improve how your car drives. Let's start with the biggest misconception of them all. Let's start with a simple question. Where did the 32 PSI rule actually come from? Because despite how often you hear it, 32 pounds per square inch was never designed to be a universal standard for every car. It didn't come from engineers, safety authorities, or vehicle manufacturers. Instead, it emerged as a practical shortcut. Years ago, tire shops and service centers needed a quick, safe baseline pressure that would work reasonably well for many passenger vehicles, without constantly checking manufacturer specifications. Back then, cars were generally lighter, tire sizes were less varied, and suspension systems were far less sensitive to small pressure differences. In that environment, setting tires somewhere around 30 to 35 PSI often produced acceptable results. Over time, this convenience-based habit evolved into something that sounded like technical advice. Mechanics repeated it, drivers passed it along. Eventually, the number took on an undeserved sense of authority. The problem is that vehicles didn't stand still. Modern cars differ dramatically in weight, balance, tire construction, and suspension design. A compact sedan, a performance vehicle, and an SUV can require very different pressures for safe operation, even if they use tires that look similar. Yet the old shortcut survived. What began as a time-saving approximation gradually turned into a widespread belief, one that ignores how precisely modern vehicles are engineered to work with specific tire pressures. And that's where the real confusion begins. Now let's talk about one of the most common tire pressure mistakes drivers make. Looking at the number printed on the tire sidewall and assuming it's the correct pressure for everyday driving. At first glance, this seems logical. The number is clearly visible, stamped directly onto the tire, and presented in a way that looks official and important. Naturally, many drivers assume this must be the pressure they should use. But that assumption is incorrect. The pressure shown on the sidewall is not a recommendation. It is the maximum cold inflation pressure the tire can safely handle under its rated load capacity. In other words, it defines the upper safety limit of the tire itself, not the ideal operating pressure for your specific vehicle. Your car manufacturer determines the correct tire pressure based on factors like vehicle weight distribution, suspension geometry, ride comfort, and handling characteristics. That engineered balance has nothing to do with the tire's maximum tolerance. This distinction becomes even more important when you realize that two tires of identical size can display completely different maximum pressures. One brand may list 44 pounds per square inch, while another lists 51 pounds per square inch. That difference reflects internal construction, not vehicle requirements. Using the sidewall number as your target can easily lead to overinflation, which affects grip, comfort, and wear. And this is where many tire problems quietly begin. So, what really happens when your tire pressure is wrong? Not slightly off, but consistently higher or lower than what your vehicle manufacturer recommends. The most important thing to understand is that a tire is not just a piece of rubber. It is a carefully engineered structure designed to flex, absorb forces, and maintain a stable contact patch with the road. That flexibility only works correctly within a specific pressure range. When a tire is underinflated, the sidewalls bend more than intended as the tire rolls. This excessive flexing generates heat inside the tire, and heat is one of the biggest enemies of tire durability. Over time, rising internal temperatures weaken the bonding between materials, increasing the risk of structural failure, tread separation, and reduced lifespan. Overinflation creates a different type of stress. With too much pressure, the tire becomes overly rigid. Instead of distributing forces evenly across the tread, the center of the tire absorbs most of the load. The tire loses part of its ability to cushion impacts from potholes, cracks, and uneven road surfaces. Those forces are then transferred more directly into the tire's internal components. In both cases, the tire is operating outside its intended design window. And when that happens, wear accelerates, grip changes, and performance begins to degrade, often without obvious warning signs. One of the first visible consequences of incorrect tire pressure appears in how your tires wear over time. And the pattern of that wear tells a very clear story. Tires are designed to distribute the vehicle's weight evenly across the tread surface. When inflation pressure matches the manufacturer's specification, the tire maintains a balanced contact patch, the portion of rubber actually touching the road. But when pressure is too low, the shape of that contact patch changes. Underinflated tires allow the outer edges of the tread to carry more of the vehicle's load. The center section lifts slightly, while the shoulders experience increased friction against the road. As a result, the edges wear down faster, often long before the rest of the tire. Excessively high pressure produces the opposite effect. Overinflated tires become more rounded, concentrating the load toward the center of the tread. The middle section absorbs most of the stress, leading to premature center wear, while the outer tread remains relatively untouched. In both situations, tire life shortens. What makes this especially costly is that uneven wear is largely irreversible. Once the tread pattern is compromised, rotation, balancing, or alignment adjustments cannot restore the lost rubber. More importantly, uneven wear directly affects traction. And reduced traction means compromised braking, handling, and overall vehicle stability. Issues many drivers never trace back to tire pressure. Incorrect tire pressure doesn't just affect tire wear, it fundamentally changes how your car interacts with the road. Every vehicle is engineered around a very specific tire footprint, the area of rubber designed to maintain stable contact with the driving surface. That contact patch is what allows your car to accelerate, corner, and most importantly, stop safely. When tire pressure is too low, the tire becomes softer and less stable. The tread can shift more during cornering, and the sidewalls flex excessively under load. This creates a delayed steering response, reduced precision, and a sensation many drivers describe as the car feeling loose or floating. Overinflation introduces a different problem. With too much pressure, the tire stiffens and the contact patch shrinks. Less rubber touches the road, which reduces available grip. While the steering may initially feel sharper, overall traction decreases, especially during hard braking or emergency maneuvers. And this is where safety becomes critical. Braking performance depends entirely on tire grip. If the tire cannot maintain proper contact with the road, stopping distances increase. Sudden lane changes become less predictable. Stability control systems must work harder to compensate for reduced traction. What makes this dangerous is how subtle the change can feel. Drivers often adapt to degraded handling without realizing anything is wrong. The car still moves, it still turns, but the margin of safety quietly shrinks. And all of it can stem from something as simple as incorrect tire pressure. Tire pressure also plays a surprisingly large role in something every driver cares about: fuel efficiency. At a glance, it may seem unrelated, but the connection is rooted in physics. As your car moves, your tires constantly deform where they meet the road. This deformation is normal and necessary for grip, but it also creates resistance, known as rolling resistance, which your engine must overcome to keep the vehicle moving. When tires are underinflated, that resistance increases. A softer tire flexes more as it rolls, which means more energy is lost through heat and internal friction. The engine must work harder to maintain speed, consuming more fuel in the process. Even a small pressure drop across all four tires can noticeably impact efficiency over time. Overinflation isn't ideal either. While higher pressure can reduce rolling resistance slightly, excessively inflated tires reduce traction and alter how forces are distributed across the tread. This can introduce instability, uneven wear, and reduced ride comfort, trade-offs that outweigh minor efficiency gains. What makes tire pressure especially important is how easily efficiency losses go unnoticed. There's no warning sound, no obvious performance drop. You simply find yourself refueling more often without a clear explanation. Over weeks and months, that hidden inefficiency adds up, And once again, something as simple as maintaining correct tire pressure directly influences both vehicle performance and operating costs. Now, here's a mistake that even careful drivers make: checking tire pressure at the wrong time. Tire pressure is not a fixed number. It constantly changes with temperature. As you drive, friction between the tire and the road generates heat. That heat causes the air inside the tire to expand, temporarily increasing the pressure. This means the reading you get after driving is not your true baseline pressure. It's an inflated value created by heat. That's why vehicle manufacturers always specify cold tire pressure. Cold doesn't mean freezing. It simply means the tires have not been significantly warmed by driving. Typically, this means the car has been parked for at least a few hours or driven only a very short distance at low speed. Measuring under cold conditions provides a consistent reference point. When drivers check pressure immediately after driving, confusion often follows. The numbers appear higher than expected, leading some people to release air unnecessarily. Others assume the pressure is correct and ignore a tire that may actually be underinflated once it cools. Both reactions create problems, because once the tire temperature stabilizes, the pressure drops back to its true operating level. Accurate pressure management isn't just about the number itself. It's about measuring at the right moment. And getting this wrong can quietly undermine everything your tires are designed to do. Even if you set your tire pressure perfectly today, it will not stay that way forever, because tire pressure naturally changes with the weather. Air expands when heated and contracts when cooled. This basic principle has a direct impact on your tires. For roughly every 10 degrees Fahrenheit change in ambient temperature, tire pressure shifts by about 1 PSI. In colder conditions, pressure drops. As temperatures fall, the air inside the tire becomes denser, reducing internal pressure. A tire that was correctly inflated during warm weather can quickly become underinflated when winter arrives. In hotter conditions, the opposite occurs. Rising temperatures cause the air to expand, increasing pressure. Tires can gain several PSI simply from sitting in direct sunlight or after extended driving on hot pavement. These fluctuations are completely normal, but ignoring them is not. Drivers often mistake seasonal pressure changes for leaks or sensor errors. In reality, the tire is behaving exactly as physics predicts. This is why tire pressure warning lights frequently appear during cold mornings. The system isn't malfunctioning, it's alerting you to a real pressure change. Maintaining proper inflation requires periodic adjustments, especially during seasonal transitions. What was correct last month may no longer be correct today. And once again, relying on a fixed number like 32 pounds per square inch fails to account for these predictable variations. When you check your vehicle's recommended tire pressures, you may notice something that surprises many drivers. The front and rear tires often require different PSI values. At first glance, this can seem confusing. After all, the tires may be the same size, mounted on identical wheels, and exposed to the same road conditions. So, why wouldn't they use the same pressure? The answer lies in weight distribution. Most vehicles carry uneven loads across their axles. In many cars, the engine, transmission, and a large portion of the drivetrain sit toward the front of the vehicle. This means the front tires often support significantly more weight than the rear tires. Pressure must compensate for that load. Higher recommended PSI in the front helps maintain proper tire shape, stability, and contact with the road under increased stress. Rear tires, carrying less weight, may require slightly lower pressure to achieve the same balanced footprint. In other vehicles, the situation can reverse. SUVs, trucks, and cargo-oriented vehicles may place greater loads on the rear axle, particularly when carrying passengers or equipment. That's why manufacturers specify separate pressures, to keep the car stable, predictable, and safe under its intended operating conditions. Equal pressure does not always mean correct pressure. Ignoring these differences can subtly alter handling, braking balance, and tire wear patterns. And once again, a universal number like 32 PSI simply cannot account for these engineered variations. Now, it's important to introduce a critical clarification, because 32 pounds per square inch is not automatically wrong for every vehicle. Some cars are genuinely designed to operate near that range. Certain lightweight sedans, compact cars, and older vehicle designs often specify tire pressures around 30 to 33 pounds per square inch. These vehicles typically weigh less, use narrower tires, and place different demands on their suspension systems compared to larger or more modern vehicles. In those cases, 32 pounds per square inch may be perfectly correct. But this is where many drivers misunderstand the concept. The safety of 32 pounds per square inch depends entirely on the vehicle manufacturer's specification, not on tradition, guesswork, or numbers repeated online. What works for one car can be completely inappropriate for another, even if the vehicles appear similar. Modern SUVs, crossovers, performance cars, and electric vehicles frequently require significantly higher pressures. Increased vehicle weight, larger wheels, and different tire constructions all influence the correct inflation target. There is no universal safe number, only a vehicle-specific one. This is why copying pressures from another car, a friend's recommendation, or an outdated rule can lead to performance issues without obvious warning signs. The number itself is not the problem. Blindly applying it is, and that leads directly to the most reliable source of tire pressure information you have. So, where should you actually look to find the correct tire pressure for your car? Not the tire, not a generic rule, not guesswork. The most reliable answer is already on your vehicle. Every passenger car is equipped with a tire information placard, typically located inside the driver's door jamb, on the door frame, or occasionally inside the fuel door. This label contains the tire pressures specifically engineered for your vehicle. And those numbers are not random. They are calculated by the manufacturer based on vehicle weight, axle load distribution, suspension design, handling characteristics, and braking performance. In other words, they represent the pressure range that allows your car to function as intended. This placard also explains something many drivers overlook. It specifies cold tire pressure. That means the values apply when the tires have not been warmed by driving, ensuring consistent and accurate measurements. The label often includes separate recommendations for front and rear tires, reflecting how your vehicle distributes weight. Unlike sidewall markings, this information is vehicle-specific. It is not influenced by tire brand, tread pattern, or construction differences. Whether you install new tires or change manufacturers, the recommended pressures remain tied to the car itself. Ignoring this placard introduces uncertainty. Following it restores precision. And maintaining that precision is far easier than most drivers assume. Now that you understand why tire pressure matters, let's simplify this into something practical. A quick reset you can apply anytime. First, locate your tire information placard. Open the driver's door and look along the door frame. You'll find the manufacturer's recommended cold tire pressures for both the front and rear tires. Next, use a reliable tire pressure gauge. Accuracy matters here. Small pressure differences can affect performance, so a quality gauge provides consistency you can trust. Check each tire when the vehicle has been parked for several hours, ensuring the tires are truly cold. Compare your readings to the placard values. If a tire is below the recommended pressure, add air gradually and recheck. If a tire is slightly above the target, release small amounts until the pressure matches the specification. Repeat this process for all 4 tires. Then replace the valve caps. This entire process takes less than a minute, yet it directly influences tire wear, handling stability, braking performance, and fuel efficiency. More importantly, it removes guesswork, because correct tire pressure is not about following myths, habits, or generic numbers like 32 PSI. It is about matching your vehicle's engineered requirements, a small adjustment, a measurable difference. And one of the simplest ways to protect both your tires and your wallet. Tire pressure seems like a small detail, but as you've seen, it affects nearly everything, from safety and handling to tire life and fuel efficiency. Stop relying on outdated habits and generic numbers. Check your door placard, set your pressures correctly, and your car will immediately respond with better stability, smoother driving, and longer-lasting tires. If you found this useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more practical car tips that can save you serious money. And before you go, watch the next video on your screen. because some of the most expensive tire mistakes drivers make have nothing to do with PSI.